Hi, I'm Lou, another episode of My Car Story. We're here at the Rosemont, Illinois Muscle Car and Corvette National. The best muscle cars in the United States are all here this weekend. Come on out, you'll see some of the greatest cars. I'm here with Ken Funk. Ken, good to see you.
Hey.
How are you?
Very good.
Good, and speaking of some of the best muscle cars, Bill, thank you. Ken, stay right with me. Come on with me. What did you bring here today?
Well, it's just my old 68 Cougar.
Tell me a little bit about your old 68 Cougar, which, by the way, was the cover car for this show. So it's not just your average Cougar.
No, it's a GT-E. They had about 350 427s left sitting around, and they decided to put them in Cougars for some wacky reason. And luckily, I got the only black with satin interior. GT-E.
Come on back with me. Let's take an overall look at the car. And your paint is spectacular. I mean,
yeah, that I owe to Jim Ellsworth in Ohio. He did both these cars. I had to have them. My dream from years back was to see these two cars done sitting next to each other at a show, and it's finally taken place thanks to Jim Ellsworth.
All right, Jim, we're going to give you a little feature here. Look, let me just do something I wouldn't usually do. We're clearly featuring this car. But one of the other cars we're going to be featuring is Ken's old car. We'll talk to John, who's the current owner. So this is what he's talking about, these two cars sitting next to each other. And we'll talk about this one in a second. But we're going to stay focused on our Cougar right now, but so that you can understand the story that Ken's talking about. Now, Ken, you've got the beautiful car there. Now all of a sudden, how did you get this one?
Well, a couple of buddies knew that I was having the car restored, the Mustang, and they find this car. One family owned it its whole life since day one. They asked me if I want a Cougar project, and I said absolutely not. And then they said, well, it's the GT-E and it's the only black saddle car and it'll go really good with your 68 and a half. And then I said, okay, sure. I guess I got to do that one.
Sure.
So then I sold the Mustang to a buddy of mine and got going on this one. And here they finally sit.
And this car is all done back to specs. You can even see on the license plate the information under there. We've got the XR7. I got thrown off because, as you can see, this paint is so spectacular. You can see me in it. But in the Mercury, let's get an overall stance in the back of that car. That looks great. Let's walk around this way and open up the door and take a look at the interior.
Oh yeah.
Ken, were there any difficult pieces when you're videoing this, or not videoing this car, when you were restoring this car, that were just like, we can't find that part?
I bought the car without a motor.
Okay. All right.
So that was the humongous hiccup that we had run into. What are we going to do? Where are we going to find the right stuff? And finally you get the magic phone call. You're not going to believe what I found. A guy bought a GT-E new, pulled the motor out like in 70, and everything was sitting in his garage.
Wow.
And the car was built 3 days away from mine. It was absolutely perfect stuff. And at that point, you know, they got you, and you just say, how much?
Yeah, right. Wow, what a story on that one. So the tach, the speedometer.
You get the wood grain with the XR7.
Yeah, really cool.
With like the roof console.
With the gauges and the Cougar XR7 there. It's the gauge that's on the passenger side there. What is it? Oil.
Oh, oil pressure.
Yeah, the passenger needs to tell you about the oil problem. Sure, that would only make sense in that time frame.
All the wood grain's the original that's on the dash. No one's making that stuff.
That is just great. All right, let's take a look at the 7-liter under the hood.
Somebody would come up with the information
Otherwise, we'd have to piece it together. Buy this from this guy and buy that from that guy. It was all together in one. You know, it was just fantastic.
That's amazing.
Miracle.
Yeah, that is a miracle. Where did this engine come from?
The guy lived on the East Coast. I think he was in Connecticut.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
I mean, just amazing. You can see it powered by a Ford in there. Of course, the all-important 427 high performance. Ken, a spectacular car. This is why it was on the cover of the magazine. Let's shut the hood, and we'll shut the door and have you stand next to it. Matter of fact, while we're doing it, I want to get a shot of this hood. The vents there feature that. I didn't notice that, actually. All right, let's have you stand right there. Ken, congratulations on a great car.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for being on My Car Story.